You feel like you are doing everything right. You go to bed at a reasonable hour, avoid late coffee, and have a wind-down routine. Yet morning still arrives with the same heavy feeling. Your body is tired, your mind is foggy, and the day feels demanding before it has even begun. After 40, sleep can start to feel unfamiliar. The routine that worked for years may suddenly seem unreliable, but the problem may not be how many hours you spend in bed. It may be a combination of changes lowering the quality of those hours. In this video, we are going to look at 7 often overlooked sleep saboteurs that can drain your energy after 40. Some are connected to the menopausal transition. Others are ordinary habits that matter more when sleep is already fragile. The goal is to notice useful patterns, test sensible changes, and recognize when a medical conversation matters more than another sleep product. The frustration often appears in the middle of the night. You glance at the clock and see 3:14 a.m. Again. Your body feels exhausted, but your mind is already reviewing tomorrow's tasks, unfinished conversations, family needs, and everything you forgot to do yesterday. You may have tried the usual advice: a dark room, less phone time, and a reasonable bedtime. Still, the tiredness follows you into the morning, makes concentration harder, and turns ordinary responsibilities into something you have to push through. Sleep is influenced by many systems at once. During perimenopause and menopause, hot flashes, mood changes, breathing problems, stress medications, and daily habits can overlap. Coffee, a late dinner, or alcohol may not be the only cause, but each can add pressure to an already interrupted night. Your body is not necessarily failing. The conditions around your sleep may have changed. Once you identify the strongest pattern, you can respond more precisely. Let's begin with the saboteur that often sits underneath several of the others. The first saboteur is the hormonal transition of perimenopause and menopause. Estrogen and progesterone are connected to far more than the menstrual cycle, and changes in these hormones can influence sleep directly and indirectly. For many women, the most obvious disruption comes from hot flashes and night sweats. You may wake suddenly feeling overheated, throw off the blanket, and then feel chilled a few minutes later. Even when you do not remember being fully awake, repeated temperature discomfort can break sleep into smaller pieces. Hormonal changes can arrive alongside mood changes, anxiety headaches, or difficulty staying asleep. But not every sleep problem is hormonal. Sleep apnea, restless legs, medication effects, chronic pain, and insomnia can exist at the same time. That is why the experience can be so confusing. You may spend 8 hours in bed and still feel as though you barely rested. The number on the clock does not always describe the quality or continuity of your sleep. You cannot control every hormonal fluctuation, but you can reduce unnecessary heat around sleep. Keep the bedroom comfortably cool rather than chasing one perfect temperature that is supposed to work for everyone. Use breathable bedding and lighter sleepwear. Layer a sheet and blanket so you can adjust quickly. A fan may help with airflow and gentle background sound. Keep water nearby if night sweats leave you uncomfortable. Also, pay attention to the severity of your symptoms. If hot flashes, night sweats, mood changes, or insomnia are repeatedly affecting your daily life, discuss them with a qualified healthcare professional. Lifestyle changes may help, but they are not the only available options, and treatment should be individualized. The second saboteur is bright evening light, including light from phones, tablets, computers, televisions, and brightly lit rooms. Your internal clock uses light and darkness as timing signals. Bright evening light can delay the body's nighttime signal. Screens also deliver messages, news, workshopping, and endless opportunities to keep the brain engaged. This effect is not unique to women over 40, and evidence does not show that every woman suddenly becomes unusually sensitive to blue light. But when sleep is already interrupted by hot flashes, stress or pain, late-night light and stimulation can add to the problem. You may be physically tired while your attention is still being pulled from one post to the next. Then you put the phone down and expect your mind to become quiet instantly. Try creating a lower stimulation period during the final hour before bed. Dim bright overhead lights. Put work messages away. Reduce screen brightness, or use a warmer display setting when a device is necessary. Blue light blocking products vary, and they should not become another expensive promise you feel pressured to buy. The more reliable strategy is reducing brightness, shortening screen time, and changing what you are doing on the screen. Replace a portion of that time with something slower. Read a physical book under a comfortable lamp. Listen to quiet music or an audiobook. Stretch gently. Prepare 1 or 2 things for the morning, then stop. The repeated pattern matters. You are not forcing sleep. You are removing signals that keep asking your brain to remain active. The third saboteur is caffeine. That afternoon coffee may feel essential after a poor night, but it may also make the next night more difficult. Caffeine blocks adenosine, one of the signals involved in building sleep pressure across the day. Its effects can last for hours, and the rate at which people clear caffeine varies widely. Genetics, pregnancy, smoking, liver health medications, and hormone-containing therapies can all affect caffeine metabolism. It is too simple to say that everyone processes caffeine more slowly after 40. Some middle-aged adults may be more sensitive to its effect on sleep, and many people underestimate how long an afternoon dose can remain relevant. You may still fall asleep after coffee and assume it had no effect, but falling asleep is only one part of the night. Caffeine can also contribute to lighter sleep or more difficulty maintaining sleep in sensitive people. Then the cycle becomes familiar. You wake unrefreshed, use more caffeine to function, and carry more stimulation toward the next bedtime. Instead of treating noon as a rule for everyone, use it as an experiment. For 2 weeks, stop caffeine at least 8 hours before your usual bedtime. If sleep remains difficult and you consume a large amount, move the cutoff earlier or gradually reduce the total. Remember that caffeine is not only in coffee. It may be present in tea, energy drinks, cola, chocolate supplements, and some medicines. Keep the afternoon ritual without the stimulant. Try decaffeinated coffee, a caffeine-free tea, or sparkling water. The purpose is not to prove that caffeine is bad. It is to discover whether your timing and dose are quietly working against you. Saboteur number 4 is obstructive sleep apnea, a medical condition that deserves more attention in women during and after menopause. Sleep apnea causes breathing to repeatedly stop or become restricted during sleep. The brain briefly activates the body enough to reopen the airway. These interruptions can happen many times without you clearly remembering them. Women do not always match the stereotype of the loud snorer. Symptoms can include tiredness, morning headaches, insomnia, frequent waking dry mouth, or trouble concentrating. Snoring, gasping, and witnessed breathing pauses remain important signs, but their absence does not rule the condition out. Risk increases during and after menopause, and menopause itself can cause fatigue, headaches, and insomnia. That overlap is one reason sleep apnea may be overlooked. This is not a problem to solve with a new pillow or a bedtime tea. If you have persistent daytime sleepiness, severe fatigue, morning headaches, loud snoring, gasping, witnessed breathing pauses, or frequent unexplained awakenings, talk with a healthcare professional. Ask whether a sleep evaluation is appropriate. Depending on your history and symptoms, a clinician may recommend an at-home test or an overnight sleep study. Avoiding alcohol near bedtime and addressing weight when medically appropriate may help some people, but neither replaces an evaluation. Treatment depends on the cause and severity and may include positive airway pressure, an oral device, positional strategies, or other medical options. The most important message is simple: exhaustion that is affecting your safety, concentration, or daily functioning deserves to be taken seriously. The fifth saboteur needs an important correction. Late heavy meals can interfere with sleep, but the popular story that a sugary dinner routinely causes blood sugar to crash and jolts every healthy person awake at exactly 3 a.m. is too confident. True nighttime hypoglycemia is a recognized concern for people with diabetes, especially those using insulin or certain glucose-lowering medicines. It should not be casually diagnosed from a wake-up time alone. For people without diabetes, a late meal may affect sleep in more ordinary ways. A large dinner can leave you overly full or uncomfortable. Spicy, fatty, or acidic foods may worsen reflux. Extra fluids can lead to bathroom trips, while dessert alcohol and caffeine may arrive together and blur the pattern. Perimenopause is also associated with changes in body composition and metabolic health for some women, but that does not mean every nighttime awakening is a blood sugar emergency. Try finishing your largest meal a few hours before bed when your schedule allows. Build it around foods that feel satisfying and steady for you: protein vegetables or other fiber-rich foods, healthy fats, and an amount of carbohydrate that fits your health needs. If you are genuinely hungry later, a light snack is reasonable. You do not need to force yourself to sleep hungry or follow a rigid 3-hour rule. Keep a simple sleep diary for 1 or 2 weeks. Record dinner time, alcohol, caffeine, reflux symptoms, medications, awakenings, and how you feel in the morning. Patterns are more useful than guessing from one night. If you have diabetes, take glucose-lowering medication, or experience sweating, shaking, confusion, or other possible signs of low blood sugar, speak with your healthcare team rather than experimenting with bedtime food on your own. The 6th saboteur is alcohol. It can feel helpful because it may make you drowsy and shorten the time it takes to fall asleep. That first effect is real, but it does not mean the rest of the night improves. Alcohol close to bedtime is associated with lighter, more disrupted sleep and more nighttime waking. It can also reduce REM sleep with disruption, generally increasing as the amount of alcohol rises. It may worsen snoring or sleep-disordered breathing in some people, increase bathroom trips, and make temperature discomfort more noticeable. For anyone already dealing with hot flashes, insomnia, or possible sleep apnea, that can be an especially unhelpful combination. The fact that you fell asleep quickly after a drink does not tell you how restorative the night was. For sleep, the most dependable choice is to avoid alcohol close to bedtime. There is no exact number of hours that guarantees it will not affect you, because the amount consumed, body size, food, medications, liver function, and individual metabolism all matter. Notice what the drink is doing for you emotionally. Is it marking the end of work, giving you a reward, helping you shift out of caretaker mode? Keep that ritual, but test it without alcohol. Use a special glass for sparkling water, a non-alcoholic drink, or another evening beverage you genuinely enjoy. You are not removing the moment of relief. You are finding out whether the substance inside the ritual is costing you sleep later. The final saboteur is the tired and wired stress loop. Your body is exhausted, but your mind keeps reviewing tasks, conversations, appointments, worries, and responsibilities. Cortisol supports the body's normal daily rhythm and morning alertness, but it is misleading to label every racing thought as high cortisol. Stress, anxiety, pain, depression, medications, and sleep disorders can all contribute to nighttime alertness. What many women recognize is the pattern itself. The day is filled with work, caregiving, household management decisions, and interruptions. Bedtime becomes the first quiet moment, so the mind begins processing everything it had no time to hold earlier. Poor sleep then makes the next day harder. You may need more caffeine, have less patience, skip movement, and approach bedtime already worried that you will fail to sleep again. The worry becomes part of the cycle. Start with a consistent wake time as often as life allows. Spend time outdoors, especially earlier in the day, because light is a strong signal for the body clock. Never stare at the sun. Seek medical advice before using a bright light device if you have an eye condition, or take light sensitizing medicine. At night, create a short routine you can repeat without turning it into another performance. Dim the lights. Put tomorrow's tasks on paper. Take a warm bath or shower if it feels comfortable. Try slow breathing with a longer, easy exhale. Do not hold your breath or use a rigid count if it makes you dizzy or tense. Writing a specific to-do list before bed may help some people fall asleep more easily, but it is not a cure. Think of it as a way to stop rehearsing tomorrow in your head. If insomnia continues for months or affects your ability to function, ask about cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, or CBTI. It is a structured treatment for persistent insomnia and is different from collecting more sleep tips. These 7 saboteurs can quietly drain your energy after 40 menopause-related sleep disruption: bright evening light and screen stimulation, poorly timed caffeine, unrecognized sleep apnea, late night eating, and mistaken blood sugar assumptions, alcohol-related sleep disruption, and the tired and wired stress loop. That may sound like a lot, but you do not need to change everything tonight. Choose the pattern that feels most familiar and test one useful step. Maybe you cool the bedroom, move caffeine earlier, dim the evening lights, or shift a large dinner away from bedtime. Maybe you replace the evening drink for 2 weeks. If you recognize signs of sleep apnea, possible low blood sugar, or severe daytime sleepiness, choose a medical conversation over another home remedy. Your body is not necessarily working against you. It may be responding to several conditions at once. Better sleep after 40 often begins by separating assumptions from evidence, noticing your own patterns, and getting the right kind of help when the problem is bigger than a routine. If this video helped you recognize something important, subscribe for more practical support for women over 40. Then share in the comments which of these 7 sleep saboteurs felt most familiar to you. You do not need one perfect solution. You need the next useful step. That step may help you move toward deeper rest, clearer mornings, and more energy for the life waiting for you after you wake.